Hello, and welcome back to the Excuse Me Brother podcast. As you can tell, I'm doing an introduction because Brother J ain't here right now. It's a Brother Tay takeover. And joining me is my favorite producer, our only producer, the great one himself.
Well, it's nice to be back for a second week in a row. It was kind of impromptu, but...
Well, it's because Brother J doesn't talk to us. He likes to do things his own. He likes to do things his own way.
I mean,
I'm not the judge.
Technically, I can be a Brother J because my name also starts with a J.
Yeah, I'm still not really a fan of calling you Brother Jerm, honestly.
Nah, that's okay. I prefer producer anyway.
It's okay. At least I know. It bothers me because it just feels like I'm calling you a germ, like a parasite, and I personally just don't like it.
I never understood because nobody called me that until Jason called me that. I never thought that was a nickname that could be called for me. I've heard Jay, I've heard Jer, which is a lot of people call me that one. Yeah, I've even got Jer Bear.
That sounds like more for a relationship thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I had a few friends who would make fun of me for it, but
if we're going off, I had a lot of names that go with T and Tay.
I know. I remember you guys were talking about that.
Which one?
I know T was one of them.
T was one. That was the nickname. Tay is the one I got. Tay was the one I grew up with. Like, everyone in my family called me Tay. And then when I got to high school, people added the second Tay to it. So people just called it. I don't know where that came from.
What, Tay-Tay?
I know. Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
I know who was the first person to do that. But ever since then, everyone just took it in high school. Everyone took it over. And then when I got to college, it just got reverted to T. And I was like, okay.
Which do you prefer?
T's easier, honestly.
Yeah.
Because that way no one... And it's funny to me. Because, T can mean anything. I don't think I don't know if I ever said it on the podcast. But the friend who gave me T only called me T because he forgot what my name was pronounced.
You did mention that.
Yeah, so it's always funny because I'll just say T and everyone will be like, "What's your real name?" And I was like, "Don't worry about it. Just call me T." It could be and depending on how I feel, I'd be like, "It could be whatever you want, man."
Yeah, I mean, keep it ambiguous. Keep them guessing.
And I was like, a lot of people, depending on the person and how I talk to them, my brain just goes oh, you call me T. Oh, what's your name? I was like, you don't really need to know,
right?
you ain't gonna remember in the next 3 months. It's okay.
Yeah. The most weirdest one that now that we're talking about nicknames, I had Neo.
Neo?
Yeah, from the Matrix. Yeah, I have no idea why. There was this girl in middle school that she just said I look like Neo. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm Neo, and she just always called me Neo.
It didn't. Not a single care in the world that went with it.
That went over my head.
I think the weirdest nickname I had was, I have 3 weird nicknames, and I'm only going to say 2. I was called Question as well.
What?
I like to bother my teacher. When I was in high school.
Okay. I see. So
so she just called me Question. She forgot my name for high school, all 4 years, and she kept seeing me, and she substituted some of my classes. It got to the point where she came into the thing. She's like, "Oh," she's like, "All right, let me take attendance." Question. And then she goes "That's your name?" And I was like, "I had your class for 2 years." She's like, "Yeah, I forgot it. You're just questioning me."
Damn. Didn't she have a rundown, an attendance sheet or something?
That's the problem.
That is sad.
Not even that. She ran a club, and I went to this club for all 4 years.
Oh, man.
And she still didn't know my name. And then till senior year, when she saw it on the attendance again, she was like, "That's your name?" I was like, "We had class together." She goes "Yeah, I didn't remember." I was like, "What's the purpose?"
Damn, that's messed up.
And then some of my friends call me. Have you ever played BioShock?
Yes, I have.
So, do you remember what the girls called the big daddies in BioShock? The little girls?
The little sisters.
No, you remember what the little sisters called the big daddies?
Oh, shit, I forgot. Mr. Something, right?
Yeah. So, after I graduated high school and I was hanging out with other friends in college, I got the nickname Mr. Bubbles.
Bubbles. That's right. What? How?
I don't know, and my roommates love that nickname. Like they'll do it, and it pisses me off.
Mr. Bubbles.
But, yeah, please don't.
Okay, I won't.
The problem is I said it now in public, and if this ever comes back, I'm gonna be pissed.
And
it will. I know it will.
Well, we'll see. Yeah. Anyway,
no, it definitely.
Speaking of video games, there's a segue.
I know.
That's the topic for this week. Just gonna be talking about video games. So, what?
Yeah, as a Jeremy and I are profound gamers to the point that Jeremy has a gaming YouTube channel. I have a Twitch gaming channel.
Yes,
that I help run. I help run with another friend. So we are. Jay hates video games. He also, to my knowledge, he's not a fan of anime either.
Well, so I won't say he hates video games. He's video game illiterate, is what I'll say. And I mean that in the best way possible, because like he'll be into games, and if you see the group chat, we'll talk about games, and he'll be into it and ask like, oh, what's this game about? What's that game? But like for whatever reason, he is obsessed with God of War, which is a great game. I'm playing through it right now, actually.
But like the first one, or are you doing all of them again?
Well, I'm not doing all of them. I was debating on doing all of them, but considering the most recent one was kind of like a soft reboot, I was like, let me just start there. But so he'll replay the game like so many times. I want to say he's like on his 7th playthrough. And then I remember when he first told me about it, I was like, oh, let me hold it, let me borrow it. And then he was like, I'm gonna do a 3rd playthrough, and then I'll let you borrow it. Needless to say, he never let me borrow it, but
I can tell.
That's neither here nor there. As it took me, this was like years ago.
Did you ever? But you got to play it eventually, right?
Well, yeah, I bought it because I wasn't gonna get it from him.
No, you were not. You were not gonna get it from him. I can tell you that right now.
But yeah. So that's what I've been playing right now. What have you been playing right now?
So, I haven't. Tell you the truth, I haven't played a solo game in about a good few months.
Really?
It's not on purpose. It's just I've been very busy and very like all over the place lately.
Yeah.
Remember, it's only getting worse for me now, honestly. But the last game I played, I was doing the Uncharted series all over again, like to beat the last one.
Right.
Because I played all of them before and I beat them. Uncharted 2 is my favorite one. But I was doing it again because I just wanted to enjoy the series and I wanted something to play. But other than that, I actually play Smite with my other bros together from time to time.
I tried that. I couldn't get into. I'm not really into it's MOBAs, right?
Yeah, to tell you the truth, when I first started it, I didn't like it either. It took me a while, and like it took me a minute to get into it, and then like after a while, I was like, you know what? I think it's because I was playing with my friends that I started to enjoy it. And then I started to learn more about like what strategies to do and what to do, and like how to make sure I win. But I'm still like, I'll tell you, it's a MOBA. It's like a team-based war game, and everyone has their own roles. Even though I play with a team, my role is to be a solo character and just to be alone.
Really? Does that work?
Yeah, because it's like there's 3 lanes you're supposed to attack. I'm gonna explain it. Like one lane is like distant people, so like you get distance, and you'll have like a person that's like next to you, who's not supposed to be seen. He's like supposed to be a ninja, like an assassin in the game.
Okay,
but he only strikes when he gets the chance because you're doing long distance attacks. And then in the other lane, you have a big tall person taking the damage, and another long distance person like firing at all of each other. So it's 2 people there, and then you get one lane where it's just fist to fist, like. Catch these hands, homie. Like, I came for this action, so let's go.
See, like, I tried Smite. I also tried League of Legends. I know those are kind of like different.
They're pretty much the same. Honestly.
They're the same like concept, but isn't like Smite you can like control your character in a way?
Yeah,
or am I thinking of something else?
No, Smite actually. That's the reason why I like Smite more than League of Legends, because League of Legends feels a little robotic to me.
Yeah.
And then with Smite, because like with Smite, you can play with the control. It's like it's console built.
Right.
You can play it on PC, but it's more console friendly.
Right.
So you're able. It's like you're able to dodge and you're more free roaming. Like League, you have to click and everything just feels like it's like all right, one motion here.
Yeah, you're just like kind of waiting for the attacks to just happen.
Yeah, and I hated it.
Yeah,
it got me bored. I was like, I can't do this. I need to be able to move freely.
Yeah, I think that's what turned me off of it as well. Like it has its moments where it's like fun because it's like it's more about strategy and where you go and how you go about things, who you choose to be. But I don't know, like you said, I'm more of like I need to control my guy first.
Yeah, I feel like that's the reason. As a personal note, this is why I'm not the best fan of Final Fantasy. Because I don't like turn-based games are fun, but it drives me insane because I can't move and like dodge attack.
Yeah, that's honestly the same reason why I never got into Final Fantasy either. Yeah. Like I know it has its it's because I play Pokemon. Like I'm used to that, but for some reason I can't. Outside of Pokemon, I can't do it. I don't know why.
You understand? Pokemon 2 works for me. Even then, like some Pokemon games, I'm like I need to. Maybe because I haven't played a Pokemon game where I can do free range. Like, I played the fighting Pokemon game that's like Tekken.
Pokken tournament or something like that.
Yeah, I played that, but like for Pokemon, it just works for me, I guess. But like whenever I play,
it's
Final
like
Fantasy,
bare bones. I would say I feel like Final Fantasy is more complex.
Final Fantasy, Fire Emblem also.
Yeah, that's
kind of drives me up the wall. That's why I love the remake of the new Final Fantasies, like the last two.
Oh, the 7.
Yeah, remake
I haven't
of 7.
played it yet.
I enjoyed it a lot more because of the free range, because of the way you were able to free range and stuff. Like it took the engine of Kingdom Hearts.
I was gonna say, like based on what I've seen, it seems more like that style. Yeah, but it's like a mix because I've seen like video footage and it's like you can move around, but like your attacks or your maybe your special attacks are still kind of like timed, so you have to like monitor the cooldown and all that stuff. But that's like normal.
You get some special attacks and like based on what you do, you get to unleash them. So everything that's like most thing. Yeah, it mostly took the engine of Kingdom Hearts 3. If you played that,
yes, I actually 100%ed it too.
I'll see. That's better than me.
Yeah, but, that's one of my favorite franchises. I don't play, even though I have no idea what the fuck is going on. I still enjoy it.
I love Kingdom Hearts. It's like one of my favorite games. I bought Kingdom Hearts 3, but not for myself, for somebody else. As a Christmas present, because they also love the Kingdom Hearts series.
Right.
And I never got to play it. Well, I played it, I just never got to finish it. We got to like the Tingle storyline and we never played again.
Oh. I mean, it's good. It's like I said, it's very confusing. There's a lot of like stuff that is just like, whoa, where did that come from? But honestly, my philosophy for Kingdom Hearts in particular is you just kind of got to turn your brain off to all that stuff. It's still a fun game to play, and you get to play in Disney worlds. So,
yeah, that's why I kind of got to use it because I was like, Kingdom Hearts 2 was like one of the best games I've ever played to me. Yes. And it's nothing like Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah,
and my mind's like, my brain's like, why is it not the same? And you gotta you can't let expectations, like you gotta shut down your expectations for all video games for it to be good.
Yeah, like I feel like they leaned more into the gameplay, which is great, but in terms of the story, it kind of felt thrown together in a way, which is why I'm a little hesitant about Kingdom Hearts 4 because I saw the trailer for that and I don't know, I don't know how to feel about it. I'm excited, but I'm also skeptical.
I can feel that. Honestly, when they announced when there was a Kingdom Hearts 4 coming, I was like, after all the years you took to kill Kingdom Hearts 3, you going to do a fourth one?
Right. It took, how long did it take? It got announced in like 2013, I think, and didn't come out until 2019.
That's 6 years.
That's a long
GTA
time.
That's GTA time, man.
Yes, that is GTA time, which that's also having another one.
There's a lot of people being upset about it.
Yeah.
But on GTA news, they're actually going to have like their next game is going to be a female lead character.
Yeah, I heard that too. It's supposedly it's going to be a female Latina, which is interesting, but a lot of people, they don't like that because it's a woman. I mean, there's plenty of other games with women in them. They have no problem with them.
Yeah, Samus is a
exactly. Samus, Tomb Raider, Hellblade. There's plenty of them.
Bayonetta. There's a lot of female-led games. That's stupid.
Yeah, it's, you know exactly those type of people.
There's racist and sexist people, and that's fine.
Yeah,
and honestly, I feel like it's only getting worse since the pandemic.
Well, yeah, that's neither here nor there.
That is what it is. That's another conversation for another time,
right?
If we get to that. But the reason the people I was following that are upset with that is because like I forgot how big the world's supposed to be, but a lot of people were like, "I was like, you're gonna take like I don't remember when did the last GTA come out?
That came out in 2012. I know it came out the year before the next gen consoles came out. I think it came out. Oh no, maybe it came out that spring.
Maybe?
No, maybe it was 2013. Hold on. Let me look this up. Because I remember it came out right before.
No, you're 2013. You're right.
Yeah. So,
So it's been about, we're going on 9 years now since the last GTA game, GTA 5. Which, if anything, it shows because people still play GTA.
Yeah, 5. That's a whole, that could be a whole episode on its own. GTA, like the amount of people still, it's still the number one selling game, like on most months. I don't understand how have you not discovered GTA? New people keep buying it.
I mean, people are going to keep buying it. Some people just are going to like buying it for the first time because some of them probably didn't have the console to buy it yet. Yeah, but like every time every time GTA comes out with something new, because like their online is like full of so many games that it's just a whole nother game to you.
True. Yeah, that's true. And it's also they're constantly porting it over, so like you gotta count the original like 360 and PS3 buyers, then they re-release it for PC, then they re-release it for Xbox One, PS4, then now they're re-releasing it for the new next gen. It's like
PS5.
It's like they're freaking triple, quadruple dipping, and people are buying it.
People are gonna be like, I mean, if they're gonna keep releasing every time there's a new console in my brain for GTA, I'm like, well, looks like we're porting it to someone new. Like the Switch came out, we'll port it to the Switch. I'm
surprised they haven't done. Maybe that's Nintendo. Like they don't want to be associated with.
Probably not, honestly, which is nonsense. Nintendo can do what they want.
That's true. Honestly, I think GTA 5 has been ported. How many? No, I don't think it's been ported as much as Resident Evil 4.
Oh,
that one has been on freaking every console known to man.
Yeah, started from PlayStation 2,
PlayStation 2, GameCube. It got ported to freaking the N-Gage. You remember that?
I don't, but I feel like
it got a mobile app on iPhone. Yeah, I'm telling you, it got ported to every freaking thing. That and Skyrim are ported like unlimited times. Like if you can think about it, they'll port it to it.
Skyrim's also that's actually a game I've never actually gotten.
I tried to. It's very intimidating because of how big it is.
It just never really caught my attention. It was like that in Bloodborne, like and Dark Souls, those type of games.
Oh man, you're missing out.
They look fun. They really look fun. And then part of me is like, do I really have like the time to like really commit to this?
Well,
like,
see, that's also the issue. Like you were just saying that you don't really have time for like single player stuff. So
no, not right now. I'm just, and every time like when I come home, I'm just like doing something. I'm always doing something else to get ready for another thing.
Well, what I will say is, if you ever are interested in like the Dark Souls type games, honestly, I would start out with Elden Ring, which just released. That is probably the easiest one of all of them, and it's more forgiving than the other ones.
That's wild, because I've definitely heard how bad. I definitely heard how like rough it is to people.
Well, yeah, obviously, if you're a newcomer, it's gonna be rough. But coming as somebody who I've played all the Dark Souls games, the only one I haven't played is Bloodborne, which I want to play it soon, and Demon Souls. But other than those two, I've played all of them, and by far, Elden Ring is the easiest.
The most forgiving.
Which I don't know how much that means, but to me,
because it was never really forgiving to begin with.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because I never played it, but I definitely have watched. I've watched Let's Plays and I watched games of like Bloodborne and stuff like that. And watching people like comedic people just die from it is hilarious.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I died and lost everything. Now I have to get back to that point I was. And if I don't get there, I lose everything. And I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, oh.
It's definitely it's brutal. I'll say that. But honestly, I want to say maybe like 90% of the time, whenever you mess up or you die or whatever, it's like you realize what you did wrong. Like you either pressed like the wrong button, or you got too overconfident on how much damage you were gonna do, and you just miscalculated everything, and you did less damage, so they got a hit on you, so you died. So it's like just little stuff like that where it doesn't make you feel like it was a cheap death. Sometimes it does, but most of the time it doesn't. Like
as a gamer, everything's a cheap death. What are you talking
about? That's true. That's very true.
How did I die? How did I die? Like I hit the button. This game sucks. Those are like my favorite. I hate those people. Those are like my favorite people though to go against and beat. So like
I don't know.
Fucking cheat, bro.
I don't know.
You don't know my range.
I don't know how people get so upset at video games. Like I get being like frustrated and angry and just, but there's people who take it to a whole nother level. Like they'll freaking like break controllers and throw shit.
As a child, I can relate to that because that's what I used to do as a kid. Like, especially playing. Not even because when I was a kid, I didn't really do online gaming like that. It's a lot of solo games. Right. But like as a child, when I would lose or die, like regrettably, I could definitely explain to you I threw that controller mad quick.
Across the room.
Across the room, on the bed, just throwing my fist, flinging shit at the wall. Like, I can't believe this shit.
That's how, my youngest...
It would take me a minute, though.
Yeah, that's how my youngest son is. Like, I had to talk to him about that, because I was like, okay, first of all, where do you get this from? Because, like, I understand you get frustrated, but nobody told you to throw shit. Like, you need to calm that down.
It's a natural thing that just comes because no one's gonna teach you to do it. Because no one in my family ever did that. Like even when, like I've never seen anyone in my family get frustrated to the point where they were like throwing stuff. Like so as I got older, it just came naturally. I don't know, just as a little kid, you do it, and then as you get older, you're just like, I paid for this,
right? Yeah, I'm not trying to break this. I don't want to spend more money.
Normally, they'll get out of it sooner if you throw in them. Like, yo, if you break that, you can't have another controller.
Oh, yeah. I definitely tell them that because they used to get upset at Minecraft when they would, like, lose or whatever. And he would throw the Switch because they played on Switch. I'm like, you better be careful because I'm not getting you another one. That stopped real quick.
As soon as you realize, you get there with the idea, like, yo, that controller breaks, I'm not getting you a new one. A lot of you start to change really quick.
Especially like when you realize like, or like when you buy it yourself, that also changes stuff.
That your whole mindset switches so fast. You're like, oh It's like, who you mean? You're not gonna, as a kid, when my mom was like, yo, you break that controller, "You not getting another one?" I was like, I only got 2 and one's already broken.
It's like, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath.
That's when I started to that's when I learned the other one was like to toss it on the bed, like toss it in the air in the bed. Instead of just like, I would still like toss it, I'd be like, oh my god, I just tossed it up in the air, catch it, and go back at it. But like, it would have to be like, going back to God of War, because when I played God of War, when I died at a boss like more than 4 times, that's when the anger came. I was like, why am I like? And then it became self-hate. Like, why am I so bad?
Yeah, the only game that I feel like I've raged at when I was younger was Gears of War, because I used to play that online.
Oh, I fucking hate Gears of War.
And that shit, mostly it was just because, I mean, granted, this was a while ago, so I had shitty internet. It would just be lagging, and then I would I would be shooting at him, and then nothing would happen, and then all of a sudden I'm obliterated into a million pieces. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And I was just like.
My hatred for Call of Duty stems from that.
Oddly enough, Call of Duty never got me that mad.
I never took it seriously, but like, man, them lags killed me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, for whatever reason, Gears of War was just the trigger.
Gears of War is just, it's gory, bloody, so you feel more upset.
Maybe, yeah, that's probably what it is.
Because I didn't have an Xbox, so the only time I played Gears of War was when I went to my friend's house or my cousin's. And I played with them. Dying in Gears of War was a different level of anger for me.
Yeah, no, because they throw it in your face like you died.
I'm just like, especially like on sometimes like when my friends we would play like I don't remember the mode, but like if you died, that was it. It's like 5v5. If you die once, you were out for that round. Oh, that one hurt. That one I hated the most. I couldn't
play those types of games just for that reason, because like as soon as you die, like, and that's it. And I gotta wait. Fuck that.
It hurt the most, especially like if you're doing like I got good at it. I was like, yeah. I started from like the first one eliminates like top 3 on every round all the time. And when you get to that point, you're like, yeah, I got this. And then just to get shotgun behind, like from a distance, you're like, you just look at it like, come on, man.
And always be like right when you're on a roll.
And it's not like the person comes up from behind you. It's like in front of you, and they're like, you see the distance. You're just like,
how?
Are you serious, game? You just look at it like, come on.
No, what gets me is like when somebody kills you, and then like they show their screen, like the replay of it, and you're like, yo, this guy didn't even touch me. How the hell? And then like it's just like it fucks with your mind, because on your screen it looked like he didn't even touch you, but then on their screen it's like a completely different story. I'm like, what the hell?
Oh no, I used to hate those. Oh, especially Call of Duty would just get me mad because like it would just show like I would have showed on my screen, and then what it showed on the kill cam would just be like, I was like, I'm running full force, and then like I'm dead, and then on the kill cam it shows me like stop and look to the left. I'm like, I didn't even stop moving.
Yeah, like, it's just like a completely different screen. Like, what is this?
Like, what? I was like, I don't understand.
That's why I don't even bother with the kill cam. I skip that shit. Like, I'm not ready to get that upset. Nah,
some of the kill cams I watch because, like, if I was getting killed by someone just standing in one spot, I was like,
yeah,
I'd be like, that used to be the most annoying, especially when I was playing Halo as a kid.
Oh man, that was another one that got me that got me upset. Halo
was Halo was the start of camping with a sniper and rocket launcher. That was the start. That's why I hate snipers. Honestly, in any game, I hate all sniper rifles.
I can never get into sniper. Like, I don't know how people get good at it. Like, that takes a lot of patience.
I'm bad at it. I'm bad at it. I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. I hate anyone who does it.
What gets me is like they make it look so easy though. Like they'll be getting like headshots while you're jumping up in the air, and it's like, how do you have that much patience to like scope me out and get the headshot?
Some of them will just be like, it's like they saw you, they shot at the shot before they even got you on the screen, and you got caught. I'm like, yeah, like, come on, that's just. I
used to get upset. I used to be like, yo, you like I would be yelling at the screen and be like, yo, you do nothing but play this game. You just stay on this game. Oh man.
I think that was the start of when I got a PlayStation 3 when I had a mic. Oh, that used to be the most fun thing. Because when I used to beat people, they'd be like, "All you do is play this game. Hey, you don't do nothing." And I'd be like, "I'm like, nah, I go to school, bro. Like, this is my first time." I used to love to answer people. This shit was hilarious to me.
No, I would get some weird messages from people, like salty people who I beat, and they'd be making me laugh, and I'll be responding to them like they'll be like, "Oh, you." I can't even like think of it right now, but like they would just like be extra salty, and I would just add to it.
This is what led to this culture we have right now.
Exactly. I'm not helping the situation.
No, we never did. Honestly, I feel like we just made it worse. Seriously, I don't remember I'm gonna tell you. What I was like, this has nothing to do with video games, but that's something to do with sports.
Yeah.
So gaming in a way. I forgot I was talking something because I follow teams on Bleacher Report and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote something positive about this team because this team signed this person to replace their injured one.
Right.
And like this wasn't the first time. It was like the 7th time this general manager had done this. So I was like, yo, this GM just doesn't miss. Like he just is always prepared.
Right.
And it sparked a whole 100 comment debate in my thing.
Oh man.
And like my phone kept going off, and I was like, "Yo,
this is on Twitter, right?"
It was on Bleacher Report. It wasn't even on
Bleacher
Twitter.
Report,
That's the worst part. If I put it on Twitter, it probably would have been worse.
Yeah.
People was calling each other idiots. He was like, "You fucking dumbass" and this stuff, and I was like,
"Yeah."
I was like, my comment was, "This person doesn't miss." How are we calling each other dumbasses? I'm confused.
Yeah, some people they just lose all sense of like. Just themselves, like they don't know how to act.
That's where it started from, losing in video games.
There you go.
The most toxic thing you could ever do, especially as a young age when you lost in sports game as a boy. Shit was crazy.
Yeah,
used to love playing in Madden tournaments. The shit was hilarious.
I never really got into sports games. Like, granted, I never really played sports to begin with, outside of baseball. But even the baseball games, I never really got into.
If you can't, you don't know. I play sports game because like my older brothers liked it, so we would just play against each other, and then like we would do creative. We would do creative players. So like we would make ourselves, and just to see them go against each other to see who was better for real. So that's where that started for me. And then as I got into high school, we started doing. As I got into fantasy drafts, so we took fantasy drafts and made them into things on the game, but it was still tournament wise. So we would draft our own team. Right. And then just let the game do what it wants. So
I actually kind of do that with so it's not really a sport, it's wrestling. So that's the only exception. But like I do similar things like what you just said with that. Oh,
I did that in sports too. Honestly, I feel like I took a full plunge into sports game when they started making story modes for them. Like full out careers. That's when I really took a dive. I was like, I can make my own player, and they actually have a story mode. A story mode? Like, yes, let's go.
Have you seen, well, I'm sure you've seen, like, what sports games did you play?
So, right now, the sports games, it's, I went through a collection where I collected every game for every sport. So, like, I had Madden for football, I had NBA Live and 2K for basketball, I had a FIFA game.
Really?
Because, yeah, I had FIFA, I had Tiger Woods golf. Before the Tiger Woods incident.
Right.
So before they stopped making that game, I had an NHL hockey. I had a hockey game, but it wasn't NHL. It was more like have you ever heard of the sports game called Blitz?
Blitz the League?
Yeah.
That was the football game that like let you take steroids and stuff, right?
Yeah, so but they had other versions of that for baseball and hockey.
I had for
those. Real? Yeah.
Oh shit.
For hockey, it was called hits, and people can be on fire. Yo, those fights were some of the best things in the world.
I never knew that.
Like, you could literally, like, when you truck someone into the stands, like, you really push them into the stands, and your player could just be there just to keep hitting them into the stands. I was like, this is the best hockey. I was like, this hockey is great. And then they had a baseball game called Slugfest, where you can legit just punch. You could just punch the first baseman as a runner, and everyone.
That sounds amazing, actually.
Even like if you're like a base runner, you can like just throw knees and like just hit the base. And if you're like playing defense, you can literally just start beating down on the runner who made it to first. Like, how dare you beat out this ground ball, you son of a bitch.
Damn.
Like, just, and then, like, the game would be like, all right, that's enough, and, like, skip to the next batter, and then you could do a pickoff and start doing it all over again. Like, I'm so mad at you.
Damn, they just let out all that aggression.
Oh, absolutely. I love those games.
That's funny.
And then, but baseball, then I went to, like, MLB The Show, which actually was, like, another career mode game.
Right.
Which I really enjoyed. It didn't really have that much of a story mode, but it was just nice to have the story mode in general.
Yeah. I played a little bit of last year's MLB The Show.
Yeah. MLB The Show doesn't really have a career thing. Like, it's not like NBA 2. It's not like 2K
it's not a story.
Career,
yeah.
But it's still nice. Like, it's still nice to go through the stuff. I wish it did have something like that, because that's funny.
No, like, I was going to say, I remember when they first introduced the story mode for 2K, NBA 2K, and I saw like a clip of it, and I'm honestly, I don't even think these NBA players can read, because they had like the actual NBA players talking, like reading the lines, and they sounded so lost. Like, they didn't know what they were saying, and then they were like stuttering, and like the freaking audio would clip into each other. It was funny. It was hilarious.
Honestly, now, like, the newest one, it's come a very long way, but no, you are not wrong. There was definitely some players. There are some players, like, you could definitely tell some players were really just making it based on only their athletic ability and the school's cheating.
Yeah.
Not even, like, for
I can't
every
hate
sport.
on it.
You can't, because it is what it is, but, like, part of me is like, damn, you really out here making these millions, you can't even read the word duh. I'm so upset.
Oh, man.
I forgot there was an interview with a basketball player, and, like, he saw for the first time, he saw what Touche looked like, and he was so confused.
Oh, you didn't know what Touche looked like, spelled out?
No, and, like, he saw it, and he was, like, 30. He was like, that's how you say it? That's how you spell it? And they're like, yeah. He was like, yo, I've never seen this.
Wow.
And, like, and his teammates was like, yo, you're 30. He was like, I know. His teammates was getting on him.
Oh, man.
And my brain goes like, damn, they really let you. And my brain was like, damn, they really let you coast through life, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. That's why you hear stories like that, like people who are coasting by in school just because they can play the game.
Yep. I mean, it is what it is. So some of them, like, I give props to some of the players who actually didn't. There's a football player that's actually a brain surgeon now.
Oh, for real?
Which is ironic.
That's actually really interesting, considering, like, with the whole
injuries.
CTE. Yeah.
He retired from football to become a brain surgeon, and my brain went. I was like, damn. It's like they didn't hit you. It's like they didn't hit you hard enough. Or
no, they didn't.
They hit you the right amount.
Yeah, exactly.
It just unlocks some new knowledge into you, and you're like, I can do this.
Hey, I mean, whatever works.
There's a football player that's actually playing right now who went to Harvard for law, and he's just playing football.
Damn.
I think his name is Kyle something. I forgot his last name, but it's always interesting to hear these players. I was like, this football player from Harvard. I was like, this thing went to Harvard?
Hey, I mean, it looks good on well, I would say a resume, but that doesn't.
He's not going for a resume anytime soon.
That doesn't really help him. He's already there.
He's not going for any resumes.
Yeah.
This man's making money.
Anyway.
Well, some of them are.
What are you saying?
It's just really funny to me. Yeah. But no, I was like, to go back when they added that story mode, it took such a wild turn. Because, like, that first story mode, I can tell you, like, it's like, oh, your friend your teammate backstabbed you because, like, he wanted your chance in the NBA, so he, like, used 30 tricks to get by you.
Like, get drama into it.
Yeah, and then, like, then they took a whole other change. Like, next year, your best friend got killed in a car accident.
Oh, damn.
I was like, damn.
This is a basketball game.
That was a basketball game. You got another one, like, you get... Like, you start off as a prodigy, then, like, you get accused of, like, sexual assault.
Oh, what?
And then you gotta... Yeah, they take some turns in some of these basketball games.
I mean, hey, you gotta make it interesting, right?
They do. Like, honestly, at this point, whenever I get it, I was like, is there not... At this point, I'm like, there should be a love interest. At this point, show them getting married. At this point, who cares?
Probably that's probably the next step. Like, oh, you're gonna steal some guy's girl, and they're gonna be mad. It's your teammate or whatever.
Then you're gonna. As soon as at least if someone getting shot in the club, I'm done. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's it. That's the line.
Honestly, I thought that's the line they were going to when his best, like literally, and it shows you in the middle of your season. You're just like, it's like I can't. Like it shows you like your friend. He's like, yeah, I'll be right out. I'll see you real quick. I'll be seeing you. Then he gets in the car, and then he drives off, and then you play the game, and they're like, no one can get in touch with him. And then you get a call from the police. He's like, it's like, did you buy this car? He's like, yeah. Well, your friend this did, and then it kind of fades out. You just see your player crying. I was like, they really showed this dude. I was like, they really killed this dude.
That's a little too much. I don't know.
Then, oh no! And the best part is that it ends with the ghost of that character coming through to not like to see you. It just shows him coming to read a passage of his final thoughts and everything. I'm like,
oh my gosh!
Like he sits on the bed. He's like, I want to thank you, my brother. Like it's because of you that I was even able to get this far. Like treat my sister and my mama right. They helped raise you too. And I was like, oh, I'm like, yo,
that is next level.
I was like, yo, at this, and like that was like, and I was like, then they made more. And I was like, it's like someone else has to die every year. Then I don't know.
I'm gonna have to start playing this. Then fuck the basketball part. I just want the story.
You have no idea. Like I haven't bought like the last two, but literally I was only buying it for the story. I didn't want to play with no one else. My friends will be like, yo, we're online for 2K. I'll be like, that's nice, but I'm in the story mode right now. And I'm like,
bought 2K for the story?
Like, you don't know. Like, anything that had like a good story had my attention. Like, Call of Duty, when Modern Warfare 3 came out with that story, I was like, I gotta buy it.
The Modern Warfare stories were really good. Like, they did a good job. That's why I trust, like, Infinity Ward, because they're doing the next Call of Duty, the Modern Warfare 2.
Honestly, anytime, like, I didn't pay attention to the first one, but I got the second one, and I played that whole story mode, I was like, in my brain, I was like, I don't need online. I just need this to continue for the next 2 hours.
Yeah, no, that's because I feel like the last few years, the story modes have been kind of like, bleh.
Yes. Yeah. There's been no story mode for any of these games.
Yeah.
And it drives me, I hate it so much. That's all I want. All I want is a story. If it's a story, I will pay so much attention to the game. I'll buy it. No,
but that's what I'm saying. Like the Modern Warfare, the ones that were done by Infinity Ward, usually have the best stories. That studio in particular. And then when the original creators left, and they made Titanfall, that was a great game too. Have you played it?
I've not got to play Titanfall, but only because like I downloaded it and I never had to play it. Because like no one I knew was playing it, and then like I didn't hear anything about us. They didn't really have a story mode. Like you understand,
the first one didn't. It was weird. So like it had a story mode, but it was tied into the multiplayer. So like you could play like regular multiplayer matches, but then you can also do the campaign, which was also multiplayer matches, but it also told the story in like the background. It was really interesting. But the second one, which I've heard, I've played it. I haven't played the story mode. I've heard the story mode's excellent.
Oh, I probably gotta go buy it now.
It's actually that Titanfall 2 is actually really cheap. It's usually on sale for like $5.
Oh, say less.
Yeah, I would definitely scope it out and pick it up when you can.
I'm gonna look into it because like that would definitely give me something. I would definitely make time to play that game.
Yeah, because it's the makers of the original Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2. So
then yeah, they absolutely did something great with it. I know that now.
Yeah,
especially I think it's because of Modern Warfare 2 and like Black Ops is the reason why I started playing games with good story modes. And, like if I saw anything with a good story mode, I was like, what is this game? How can I play it?
I don't know what
the gameplay looks good, but now I just want the game. I just want the story. When the story made sense, I was happy.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like what game got me into, because I'm the opposite of you. Like I play mainly single player games for like the story, but my problem is that like I like to take my time with it, because I only have like so many hours after work, and with the kids and everything, that like I have to ration my time properly.
Yeah.
So, I'm only able to focus on like one game at a time, because I know people can play like freaking 10 games at a time, or just like burn through it and like marathon it. But I have to take my time. That's why, like, right now I'm doing God of War, and I have no idea what I'm gonna do after, and that's also a problem. I don't know how to start a new game. Like, once I finished one,
it's so much harder to do that now, because like I personally feel like a lot of the new games that come out don't really do campaigns or story modes anymore.
They don't.
There's not like a lot of it's like really centered on like, okay, like here's the multiplayer for this, here's the multiplayer for that, and those games are fun, but they kind of follow like the PUBG, Fortnite kind of rule.
Yeah, the battle royale.
Like, yeah, a lot of royales, a lot of team things, like, and I like playing with people, but like I really want to play alone.
Right.
I'd rather have this story mode, and then I can play this like for a good time.
Yeah, because I like a good story. I'm a sucker for a good story. So if a game has that, then that's all I need. I mean, granted, if it has multiplayer, I'll check that out as well. But like, I'm usually there for the story.
Bruce, I'm normally there for the story as long as it makes sense. Like that was, and it doesn't bore me at a certain point, because that I want you. The last game I played that was like that was Horizon
Zero Dawn.
Yeah, I was playing that, and I was actually streaming it, and I was having a good time with it until around I got to maybe hour like 8, and then at a certain point I was like, damn, like we still haven't done anything.
Yeah, I've heard about that game, that it can kind of drag a lot.
Yeah, at a certain point, and it was so like, as a person who was streaming it and playing it by itself, at a certain point, I kind of just blended in and was like, fuck it, we just gonna do it all together then. And then at a certain point, I was like, damn, I'm really bored at this game.
I think
honestly, I had some of the wildest moments. Like, I think I got on the stream. This literally is a stream. Right. I got attacked by a metal T-Rex and a metal T-Rex and a metal pterodactyl at the same time, and I was like, what did I do to deserve this, Lord? There's no reason for this.
I think the issue with that is mainly just the fact that they're open world games, and a lot of open world games, at least for me, they tend to drag, because a lot of developers think the bigger you make the world, the more interesting it is, which is not the case. I like open worlds that have a bunch of stuff to do. I don't like emptiness or blind spots or slow spots, because like that just slows down the game. That's why a lot of people, like, even though like Red Dead Redemption 2, like it got a lot of like praise, but they also say that it's really boring sometimes, because you have to travel in a lot of desert areas that don't have anything to do.
Honestly, I feel like that was the reason why I couldn't fully commit to Far Cry, the series.
Yeah, I'm with you. I tried
because I enjoyed. Every time I see it, I enjoy the story modes of Far Cry. But like the open world travel part of it alone, especially like Far Cry 5, the one that was in America, there was a lot of parts I was like, yo, this shit is just dragging, yo.
Yeah, I just if a game is gonna be open world, you have to like put in like a fast travel system, because like at least you'll give the people who don't want to like just explore, who want to get to like the actual content, an option. And then for the people who want to explore, they can explore.
Yeah, honestly, even with Far Cry 5 have fast travel, but even then some of the points you're just like, the closest point I can fast travel to the mission I want to do leaves me 100 meters away.
And I'm
you
like, still gotta
and my brain's like, come on.
Yeah,
they do give you the option, like once you get in a car, to do autopilot, but still your brain's like, you can't even do that because it's set to random things. So you're gonna put on autopilot just to let the game do it at once, and then randomly you'll run into a bunch of enemies like for no reason. You're just like, I don't have the ammo or anything to do with this.
Yeah.
So then you got to start all over again. You're just like, oh, fuck me.
Yeah. No, I'm very picky when it comes to open world games, That's why you ever played Saints Row?
Yes.
So I was a huge Saints Row fan. I'm still a Saints Row fan. The open world in that game, it wasn't like full of stuff to do. Well, it did have a lot of stuff to do, but I've never felt bored with it. Like there was enough there to keep me satisfied, and it also had like a decent story, and it was goofy, it was funny, and all that stuff. So the new Saints Row, which is actually coming out next week, I saw a gameplay of it, and I'm so torn because like it does feel the same, but I don't know. I don't want it to have like boring periods where you're just like walking from one thing to thing.
No, Saints Row took such a dramatic turn from like its first two
to the
third one, and I was like, "Yo, what is this?" I was like, "What happened?"
Yeah,
so it's good because like it goes to extremes. So for someone who's like, "This is fun," but as another part of me, I'm like, "This look." One part of me is like, "Yo, this looks fun," and another part of me is like, "Do I really want to do this?" Like, no, this looks so dumb for no reason.
No, I honestly, it sounds weird, but I like it because it's so dumb. Like very rarely do you get games that are just like stupid fun, you know? Like
that's the part. I love it. It looks so much fun, and it looks so. It's like a cartoon game.
Yeah, pretty much
to be a part of. But another part of me is like, damn, do I really want to do this? Like, how am I going to explain this to myself when I look back? Like,
you're running around with a giant dildo.
No, I'm saying, like, how do I explain this to anyone when they come in and watch this game? They're like, why are you swinging a giant dildo? I'm like, I don't really have the answer to give you, homie. I'm not going to lie to you.
It has a strong attack.
It sends people flying. It's like a one-hit KO. And then they'll do like if you grab them, they'll actually stick the dildo into them, and you're just like, "What's going on there?" And I'm like, you just gotta look at yourself like,
I appreciate how crazy it was though, because like it took a lot of risks. Because I think a lot of people, and granted, it was the time for that where they just called it a GTA clone, which is essentially what it was.
Yeah, the first two was definitely called a GTA clone, and I could definitely see that.
Yeah, and then like the third one happened, and it kind of made its own thing, which is good.
I wasn't fine. I was fine with it all the time. Yeah. I loved it. As far as I'm concerned, it could have done more. It could have been much. It could have done so much more, and I would have loved it still.
Yeah, I mean, granted, they had to hold back because there's only so much you can do.
I feel like all those games where they're like Sleeping Dogs, Saints Row, even Far Cry. At a certain point, you're just like, all right, we done as many dumb stuff as we can do. What's left?
Yeah.
What else can I do in this world? What else can I do to make people want to keep playing this for long periods of time?
But that's the problem, though. Like, I feel like a lot of open world games have a lot of filler. Which like, oh, collect these or do these missions repeatedly or collect these cars or stuff. I don't like that.
Yeah, I feel like that's every game now. Even like Breath of the Wild was very like that as well.
I mean, I guess it depends on how intuitive it is. Because if it's just like, go here, collect this, then I'm just like, okay, why am I doing this?
Okay, I get where you're coming from.
Like, I want it to have like a purpose, like, which is like like for example, I'm playing God of War, and like that also has collectibles, but I feel like those collectibles add to the story. Like they give you different aspects of what's going on. So it's not like just pointless collect these just because we're telling you to. Like there's a purpose for it.
Collect all of these and you'll get this new weapon and stuff like that.
Yeah, something like that. Because I feel like a lot of times like it's just to collect just to say you collect them all. Like there's no.
I forgot what I was watching or what I was playing. Oh no! I remember someone was complaining about Kingdom Hearts. Actually,
was it Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah, they were like, I did all the other stuff. I completed all the missions. and got all the collectibles just to get the best weapon in the game.
After I beat
all the bosses.
Yeah, see, that's the shit.
And I remember just laughing. I was like, damn, I feel that pain.
Yeah, in that case, it's just like unless they do like a new game plus type of thing, there's really no point for you even to do anything anymore. It's like I worked so hard to make this game easier, but now I have nothing left to do.
I went through all this so I could get the weapons to go through this game.
I guess it's
now that I have it,
it's for bragging rights. Honestly, like people just to say, "Oh, I beat it all."
No, to me, I find it funny.
For me,
I don't.
If I like I said, I 100% in Kingdom Hearts. That was just so I can be like, I am done with this game. I can gladly put it down, uninstall it, and forget about it until they release the DLC, and I haven't finished that yet. Which I'm pissed because
DLC is the new favorite thing.
Yo, the DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3 is so fucking hard. That's rage inducing.
What is it? I this is the first time I'm hearing about it.
So it's basically, well, there's two parts. There's one part where it kind of retells the ending, because one of the criticisms was that the ending felt rushed and they didn't really expand on the story too much. So the new DLC, which is kind of shitty that you had to pay to get more context, but anyway, they gave you more context for everything that was happening, gave you more control. You could play as different characters and have their stories play out a little bit more. So it was definitely more of a closure for like the fan base or whatever. But then the second part of it is you have to, and I'm pretty sure they've had this in Kingdom Hearts 2 as well, where you have to face it's like a boss rush type of mode, where you have to face all these bosses in a row.
Nah, I'm good. Fuck that. I'm never doing that again.
They are so fucking hard. But at least, like, once you beat them, you're done. You can move on. It's not like, oh, you gotta beat them and then you have to beat them in one shot or whatever. So at least it's not that. But they are so fucking hard. Like, it's insane. I'm surprised I made it. I only have like 3 left, and then I just stopped because I was like, I can't do this to myself anymore.
I hated that in Kingdom Hearts 2. Those fucking Kingdom Hearts 1 too. Those fucking tournaments.
Oh yeah.
Like, welcome to the Hades Cup, and it's like 300 bosses.
Every boss.
I'm like, kill me, and it's like there's like, oh look, the Final Fantasy character you were wondering about.
Sephiroth.
Here they are. Fight them. I'm like, excuse me. I was like, I don't want to.
Yeah, no,
I don't want to at all.
It's a lot. So like now I have technically I completed the base game. Now the DLC is incomplete, which I guess I'm gonna wait until Kingdom Hearts 4 comes closer before I even attempt that again.
DLC, the real completion.
Well, that's a whole other topic as well. Like DLC in general. Like, how do you feel about it and stuff?
I'm more. At first, I love the idea of DLCs, but now I'm just upset that they really, like, the companies really use it like to finish the game.
Yeah,
they're like, oh, like, here's the base game, but the game's not really completed. Now you buy this DLC, then you get the whole completed game, and you're just like, I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, for that I should have just waited and I'll get like the complete edition, which comes with the DLC.
Yeah, and then you're just looking at it like, oh.
Certain DLCs are good. Like I feel like they're worth getting, but what I don't like is when DLC is announced ahead of time. There have been times where a DLC was announced before the game even came out.
I feel like that's
how. Like, how do you even?
That's honestly them. That's on them being like, oh, the studio made us release this game now.
Yeah,
and like, here's the part that we didn't get to add in that we really wanted to add in. And now, man, everyone's annoyed. I'm like, oh, come on, bro. Like,
I mean,
really?
even if that was the case, you could have waited to announce it. Like, don't make it seem like you were already done with this shit, but you just had to wait to release it and have everybody spend more money.
Honestly, that's what it's. Honest DLC used to be a thing. They're like, oh, there's like the game was completed, but like we thought that you guys might like this. If we added, like, I forgot which game really. Like the games I think of when it comes to DLC were like the wrestling games and the sports games. They're like, oh, like here's the game that's fully completed, but like we know how much you guys like. Like they'll release the game, they'll be like, you guys want Undertaker in it? Like we didn't add Stone Cold Steve Austin in it. You guys want Stone Cold Steve Austin? And you're like, yeah, I do.
Yeah, you should have been.
So
in
buy this DLC. Yeah, buy this DLC to get all these other legends and characters that we didn't add in until now. They're like, and it's like, in your brand, my brand's like, all right, I understand. At least the game is completed. Like the game is done. They're just adding. They're just giving us more shit.
Yeah.
But now it's like, okay, the game is like 50% done. Now you have to buy the other 50% to give us more money.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just a money grab. There was I'm trying to think of an example, the most like outrageous example. I think it was, you ever played what was it called? Like, was it Evolution? I can't remember. It was basically, it was from the creators who made Left 4 Dead. Evolve, that's what it was called. You ever play Evolve?
I'm not. I do know the creators. The Left 4 Dead creators are. I hate the Left 4 Dead creators, honestly.
Really? Why?
Because they don't know how to do. They only do the first one and then the sequel, and then they leave the sequel enough space for a third game, and they never come out with a third game.
Oh, you mean Valve?
Valve left. They promised a Left 4 Dead 3. I want you to remember there was a Left 4 Dead 3 that was supposed to come out that never came out.
Well, I'm talking about like the actual like developers. So
I don't give a fuck. I hate that company.
So the game Evolve, it was one of those things where like they announced the DLC before the game even came out, and they were announcing like different, because the whole point of it is, like I said, it's like Left 4 Dead, but it's like there's 4 players and then there's one like big enemy or monster or whatever. So they were selling the different monsters that you can be, but they were tying it to different bundles. So like you had to buy a specific version to get that monster. Like you couldn't buy just the monster. You had to buy the version of the game to get that monster.
That sounds awful.
That's so shitty. And I was like, this was all before the game came out. I was like, first of all, why would you even announce this knowing that people are going to be upset about it? That's just going to tank the sales. I mean, honestly, I think people still bought it, but still, that's just insane.
In my brain, that's definitely a game I would try my best to avoid. If they did that, I'm like, oh, fuck this.
Yeah. I mean, I played like the beta, which it was all right.
That's the problem?
Yeah, that's
I feel like that's worse when you get the game and the beta's bad.
Yeah.
Like they were like, oh, we're gonna do this for the DLC, but the beta wasn't good enough for me to be like, oh yeah, I'm like, it's worth my pain and suffering. I'm like, no, it's not worth that at all.
Exactly.
That's more annoying than anything.
Yeah, no, that's.
Oh, I fucking hate this. I hate everyone. I hate people.
I didn't mean to make you go on a rant.
I'm already ranting. Like, what are you talking about? Every episode we do, I rant.
That is true.
Every episode ends with me getting upset, mostly because of Jason. Well, Jason doesn't understand how ignorant he sounds often to me.
Well,
we talk about it, but like he really doesn't understand how ignorant he really sounds, and it's funny. It's funny to me sometimes, but it's hilarious.
I was gonna say that's what makes the show work.
Somewhat. His ignorance and my open-mindedness.
Exactly.
To be able to look at him like,
it's like the yin yang.
It's him being ignorant and my brain going, what the fuck is he talking about? And then he gets mad at me for not knowing movies, but whatever.
He's gonna have some choice words when he hears this.
I don't give a single fuck. Yeah. He knows it.
Well, anyway,
I'm still mad about the Feelings episode opening.
Wait, what?
I'm still mad about that opening for when we talked about feelings. And he's like, no one gives a fuck about your feelings, Tay. I was like, whoa, what the fuck? He's like, that's how he started it. I was like, what the fuck just happened to me? Like, what?
Hey, hold on. What's going on here?
hold up. Rewind this. Rewind. What just happened?
Well,
this shit was so bad.
We can honestly go for like another hour if we choose, but let's just let's save it. Let's table it.
Table it. Spin it up. Push it until we get more. Until we could. When Jay goes away, we'll come back.
We'll come back next time he decides to take a break
and do what he wants to do. Whatever.
I still want. You guys.
I still want to do like that thing we talked about. But it's still the up down downs idea. Xavier.
Oh yeah. Tyler Breeze. No, that when you brought that up, I was like, yo, I didn't even think about like that type of content or like that style, but that would be great.
No, it's fun. To tell you, so actually, before we finish this, the Twitch channel that I have with my friend, we had a stream where we bought like 5 of us on a stream and we were drinking. It was all drinking.
Oh man, that would be so fun.
But we did an NBA like draft where we drafted our own NBA teams and then we threw them into conferences and divisions. We weren't in the same division, but we were all like almost in the same conference. And then we would just let the computer run, and we would just we would just adjust like lineups and stuff whenever we got the chance. But other than that, we kind of just let it go.
Yeah, no.
But like I always like doing that type of stuff because it's fun to do it on streams.
Yeah, no, we need to schedule that. That sounds like fun.
I'm fully down for it. I really want to do it. If anything, I call SmackDown.
You just called dibs right now.
Can't say I didn't say it.
Okay, we'll see.
If anything, we can flip a coin about it later. But I would personally like to have SmackDown.
All right, we'll talk more. We'll talk more when we get there.
Honestly, it doesn't have anything to do with like the roster because if we do it, we're gonna do our own like draft our own rosters.
True, yeah.
I just personally want SmackDown because it just makes feelings to my emotions.
I mean, I like SmackDown as well. Like I grew up with that, so
see, Raw was just the only affinity I have for Raw was his theme song, and that was "To Be Loved" by Papa Roach.
Yes.
Other than that, I could care less about Raw when I was growing up. I was like, "Fuck this show." When's SmackDown coming on?
I couldn't watch it because it was on. It wasn't on basic cable, and all I had was basic cable at the time. So all I had was SmackDown.
I don't even remember. Oh yeah, I don't even remember what Raw was. I think Raw was on like.
Raw was on Spike.
TNT or some shit?
It was on TNT, and then it went to Spike.
Spike was an interesting channel. Well, that's another thing. For another time. That channel itself was wild.
That was wild. Freaking Man Show. Oh god.
Never let me watch.
Yeah, all right. Let's end it right here.
Never let me watch that in puberty. That was wild.
Right. You want to fill them in on the socials?
Yeah, I got you. So always thank you for listening. Hit us up. Hit me up. If you want to message me on Instagram, hit us up on excuse_me_brother. That's with an A, not an ER. I do check those DMs all the time. Just hit me up if you have any comments, anything you want to share with us, any stories. If you want to email us, please send it to excusemebrotherpodcast@gmail.com. Try to listen. If you're listening to it on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Leave comments. Message us how you feel about the show. Give us any ideas. Let us know what video game you like to play when you was growing up. Or if you think my opinions or any opinions suck, please.
Or if you think my opinions suck.
I'm gonna disagree with you and we can argue about it. But at least I'm gonna give you the time. I'm gonna give you the time to tell me. You know, I'm gonna at least take it. I'm gonna take it into effect. You cannot say I'm not listening.
There you go. All right.
So thank you.
See you guys.
Have a good night, and remember, always choose violence when you wake up. Let's fuck it.
Choose peace.
Nah, fuck that. Stay dangerous.